Uh, wasn't I just inside the blue hole a moment ago? Ugh. I'm famished. Why are you making an inner monologue? Wait, what? Why are you making an inner monologue public knowledge? Then it makes sense. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. This is so bizarre. This place is overflowing with humans. There doesn't seem to be a single Nikke in sight. A Nikke? What's that? Let me introduce myself, or with the ARC's Navy Reserve Forces, the Aegis Squad. If it's alright, I'd like to ask you for a couple of questions about this place. Is this some kind of LARP thing? First, where exactly is this place? Our original land point was Blue Water Island, but now we're somewhere different. Oh, so you guys are tourists? Hi there, I'm Dave. Welcome to the Blue Hole. If you're looking for some prime seafood, then you should come to Bancho Sushi. Yeah, butchered that. Sorry, but what are you talking about? Did I get it wrong? That's what Cobra told me to say when I'm greeting guests. Alright, second question. Have you seen a large rapture lately? I don't know what the heck a rapture is. I haven't seen anything on the coast, big or otherwise. It must be underwater then. Anchor, get ready to dive. We're going to track down the gatekeeper's location. Got it. You're going to dive? I just got back on board after nearly being swept away by the current. Duty calls, Dave, and we're going to spring into action. Wait. Don't worry, nothing will happen to us. Oh, it's not that. I was going to say, if you're doing some diving, could you catch some fish for the sushi menu while you're at it? I just remembered that I haven't found all the ingredients Bancho requested. You still switch gears on a dime? If you help me, I could persuade Bancho to treat you all to a free meal. We appreciate the gesture, but of course we'll help. Alright, so... good characters left and right. Dive on the end of the boat. Yeah, pretty similar to the basic game, so... complete one diving. Complete diving one time, complete sushi bar operation. Right. I mean, this is all for in-game materials. But yeah, basically, if you don't know what this is, it's a collab in another game with Dave the Diver, so I feel I should check it out because, well, I cover a lot of Dave the Diver stuff. That said, the thing about the game is it's kind of a... it's a weird topic to get into. But in short, I suppose... yeah, it's basically the same controls as Dave the Diver. It looks very much exactly like Dave the Diver. So yeah, yep. But anyway, not the point. Okay, so the harpoon also seems a lot faster. It seems like a sped up version of Dave the Diver. Like, I feel like the movement's a bit faster already, I can tell. It seems like a more bare bones demo version of Dave the Diver, which kind of makes sense because, well, basically the whole thing is, this is actually a free mobile game, right? And they're having a collab with Dave the Diver, so that's why you're not playing as Dave here, you're playing as this other character. And basically, well, it's characters from the mobile game itself. Now, the thing about it is, like, yeah, you could sit... okay, cherry tomato, farm ingredients underwater, okay, whatever, right? So basically, you're playing at... I guess I can't dive too deep straight away. Yeah, critical depth, okay. But... so basically, yeah, you're playing as these other characters. The thing about the mobile game is, yeah, it is free, but it's also a mobile game, so there's a bunch of stuff that comes with that in the sense of, like, the monetization practices from it are like, well, yeah, it's just MTX out like the wazoo. Like, for example, like you saw in the top left, there was that sign that was like mission pass, right? And the thing about the mission pass, right, is the main thing for it is it's a costume for an in-game character. But the interesting thing about it is it costs more than Dave the Diver itself. Like if you wanted to buy a fresh copy of Dave the Diver, or you wanted to buy the skin for this character, like it's actually this character here, right? If you wanted to buy their skin in game that's themed like Dave the Diver, then this costs more, right? They did actually a similar thing back in the day, or they had like a Nier Automata collab, right? And so now the thing about that is like Nier Automata is like 40 quid, right? At least like, you know, my local region, right? But they had like a costume for 2B that's like 54 quid. So you have like a costume for 2B, like it costs more than the entire game that she originates from in the first place, right? And I mean, you have like a wetsuit for this character that's themed after Dave the Diver wetsuit, but it costs more than Dave the Diver itself, right? Now, so you know that's just to explain, like, yeah, I mean that's not to say anything. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that comes with the territory. It's a mobile game, like, you know, it's kind of gonna do those things, like as far as monetization is concerned, but you know, I just find it's wild to think about it this way. But overall, like, I don't think this is particularly for like the Dave the Diver fans to go, oh yes, I'm going to get this mobile, I'm going to download this mobile game and play that. Like, I don't think that's the way it's going to work. I think it's more for is like the people who already play this mobile game get to see how awesome Dave the Diver is, like for its gameplay mechanics. Like, because although this feels like I can tell already, this is a lot easier than Dave the Diver, right? Like, you know, I feel like my character's already going around fast. Like, you know, it's not like a bunch of these fish that I'm catching now. Okay, that's interesting. I can't hold two items at once, but yeah, a bunch of the fish I'm catching now, you wouldn't see them together. Like, you wouldn't see these rainbow angel fish, you know, or whatever this long-fin batfish, or you wouldn't see with the orbicular batfish, right? But like I've seen both of them, right? And you wouldn't see combers with clownfish, I don't think, normally. There's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't see together, if you know what I mean. But yet it is here. And switching to the gun isn't as fluid. Let's see what her gun fires like. Okay, bullet velocity is kind of a weird one. Can't switch when moving. That's another thing that I've noticed. Something that's distinctly missing now that I think about it. Like, there's no starfish or anything like that littered on the surface, like, of the water. It's all just... Let's see, can I actually get rid of anything that I think should be... That's the thing, like... It is very hard to... See, because now I'm just discarding ingredients for the sake of discarding ingredients. I hope it put me under the weight again. That's not going to happen that easily. We already have 2 kelp, so we're going to get rid of the kelp as well. So you have some Kajime up there. I have some Kajime down here. So if I get rid of both of that, I should be able to catch one more fish, and that's what I'm going to go for. I'll find what a fish that I haven't caught yet, like this lagoon triggerfish. There's rainbow ross, that's what it is. What's it, the ornate ross? Yeah, it's the ornate one. Also, this isn't decaying, which is interesting. Like, it differs from the actual main game like that. Like, if you killed a small fish like that, it would just decay. I can't use items when moving, which is interesting in itself. The underwater scooter seems to have unlimited battery. So yeah, let's see that. Yeah, the interface here is as we remember it. After some time has passed. There she is, she's coming back up. What do you mean, you're the one that was diving? What'd you find, Anchor? I found a gatekeeper's location, but... Now, how much I try to swim closer, I can't. It's as if an invisible wall is blocking me. Interesting. I'm sure the information subordinate gave us is correct. What's going on? Based on the report, Gatekeeper creates a shield around itself when it goes to sleep. Only minute particles can penetrate that shield. Right now, if I remember, during the previous mission, Subordinate used electric current to wake up the Gatekeeper. I see. I have to wait a bit for now. Because Gatekeeper is underwater, sending out any electrical current would pose a danger to us as well. We need to find another way. If only we had the Amaya right now, then we could use the Aegis cannon, it'd be perfect. I have something similar. Dave, how long have you been standing there? I've been here the whole time. Oh, I see. You seem to be in a bit of a tight spot. We need to awaken this creature by penetrating through its shield, but we can't use anything large to do it. It's a real head scratcher. How about using sushi? The smell of sushi always wakes me up whenever I'm asleep. Uh-huh. That's a great idea. Smells don't have any inherent mass. You may look simple-minded, but you're more intelligent than I thought. You could have left that first part out. You sure you're not just messing around here? Let's just try it. Since we don't have the Aegis cannon, it's not like we have many other options. If we've decided on a game plan, how about going to the sushi restaurant for a quick bite? Yeah, my stomach's growling. I think I just heard my stomach grumble for food as well. Even though Nikke's don't have such a function. The sun's going down soon, and you know what that means? It's sushi o'clock. Recharging on morale is important too. Let's gather at Bancho Sushi. I knew you'd be swayed by a good meal. Right then, sailors, raise the anchor and set sail for delicious food ahead. So yeah, by the looks of it, it's sort of like you dive once, you restaurant once, you dive once, you restaurant once. Very simple, like unlike the main game. So yeah, it's a very simplified version of it in that sense, which is pretty cool. Welcome to Bancho Sushi. Cobra is the owner of this establishment, and the titular Bancho is a head chef. I'm usually responsible for going diving to catch fresh ingredients. I also serve tea and water to the customers. And I handle the interior design. I'm in charge of hiring staff as well. Oh, and I grow rice myself. What are you doing here, lazing about? Hello, Bancho. If the food isn't served at the proper time, you might as well be serving the customer garbage. That must never happen at Bancho Sushi. I got distracted talking. Oh dear, quite a queue is forming. Excuse me, Bancho. Dave tells me you want some sushi. I apologise for the unreasonable request made on our behalf. Please ignore it. Rather than apologise, give me some ingredients. Fish, jellyfish, clams, H&C creatures, anything, as long as they're rare and exotic. Ordinary creatures will hardly satisfy the highly discerning clientele that we cater to. Oh. It won't be easy, but I got my heart set on making a certain dish. I hardly thought this would need to be pointed out, but waking up a rapture with sushi seems a bit... Don't be so narrow-minded. Any dish made with fiery passion found in the master chef. Found in a master chef has the power to touch the depths of any soul. Refusing to try it from the outset would be nothing short of sheer foolishness. If I need to spell that out for you, then you have a long way to go in life. Geez, Bancho is a real hard case. Yeah, he reminds me of Hell. Okay, fine, I was just being narrow-minded. It's not like you to admit you were wrong, let alone so quickly. Leave the grabbing of ingredients to us, but think of Sonic. In the meantime, you can help us. We can help out here. As for the sushi, meant to awaken the gatekeeper, we'll leave that in your capable hands, Bancho. No problem, you can trust me. Alright, tap the ingredients button, check the ingredients you have. Yeah, the UI is a bit weird here, being left halfway between lines like that. Like, what? Tap the menu button to check the current menu. Customers place order based on the menu. Add dishes, of course, yep. Tap the hire staff. Making delicious dishes can increase the sushi bar's grade, unlock more recipes, and attract more customers. Only once every night, serve dishes ordered by the customers. Discard leftovers. Okay, cool. Let's see, so we have some dishes I recognize from the main game here. Of course, the whole roasted shark heads are platinum here. There's Batfish Rice Bowl. Interesting. So let's see, so it's all about getting the highest taste value here. Now, I can enhance. Right, so it's all click, like I don't have to use the audio mixing's a bit weird here. It's refreshing to see that cutscene just like... See, now, what I'd say about that is the audio mixing like that is a cutscene ripped directly from, like, the main game. So when they put in this other game, they really did not balance the audio. Like, that was loud as fuck. Yeah. So I need more of that if I wanna... Maybe I focus on that. Can I upgrade my grade yet? Right, so... So my highest taste value is now that, so yeah. Yeah, nah, I think that cutscene was overly loud. What do you guys think? Like... Probably shouldn't upgrade all that, but whatever, right? Add both of those. I don't actually know how many customers I'm going to get at this rank. Today's expect. Oh, it tells you. That's a nice feature. Like, so I'm expecting 9. So that's 4, 7. I need 2 more dishes. We'll add 1 and 1. Okay, you can't sprint, but you are faster by default. Okay. Very nice, all the expected customers. After rush hours passed. A mighty gale blows and a torrential rain pours. A fierce battle has taken place inside my mouth. The chewy octopus has wrapped itself around my tongue. No wait, not tongue. The bow of the ship. Yes. Everyone be careful, the giant octopus towering tentacles stretch from the sea below to the sky above. I'll cut off the tentacles. Yeah. Many thanks, Anchor. But we haven't yet dealt with the enemy before us, and a hellacious storm has descended. The choppy waves of the source are relentless. Oh wait, that's mayonnaise. No longer can I resist this delectable assault. My will is wavering. I have no choice but to sail against the wind. Another octopus has arrived. I'll wipe it out in one shot. Man the guns. Open the cannon door. Mass takes flight of the octopus and chews vigorously. Phew, finally. We have defeated them all. You only ate one plate of octopus sushi. Feel quite pleased, Mass. Delicious food, the freeing sea breeze, the cheers of your boat mates. Yes, there's no denying it. No denying what? This place... this is the pirate's life. Yeah. To be able to feast on such delicious treats despite being as busy as we are, there is no bliss greater than this. It's like sailing with Captain Jack himself, feeling the breeze brush through your cheeks and sea spray fleck across your body. If we had some rum, then it would truly be perfect, but I already drank the bottle I brought. Sushi and rum, quite the unique combination. Are you not eating, Helm? Do you not like seafood? No, the sushi is delicious, it's just... what? It reminds me of subordinate. I understand wanting to share something delicious with another person, but the freshness of ingredients is really the main factor in determining the taste. There is a narrow time window where that sushi is ideal, and now is a perfect time. If you wish to unravel the mysteries of cooking, I can teach you a few things that I've learned. I see. Alright, it's time for the second phase of the party. Everyone raise your glasses. Here's to us, the sushi pirates. I don't think pirates are big eaters of sushi. Dave subdues retort is drowned by the sound of the waves and the cries of the seagulls. The Nikke sushi party, accompanied by mass, overzealous singing, continues through the night. So I unlocked quite a bit today. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so yeah, this is a games art style at this kind of point. You could probably tell it's a bit different to Dave the Diver's art style, but yeah. Helm. I know you're on a mission, but hiccup. How about resting tonight? After I finish this report, I can't sit by and ignore what's happening here. Yeah, you can tell the designs are a bit well, out there, I should say. Okay, but is it really necessary for me to be here as well? Helm. Helm clacks away on the keyboard for a moment before halting. You okay, Helm? You look like you were daydreaming just now. Are you lovesick like before? No, it's just, I feel uneasy. I read all the reports related to the D-Wave, but this time it's different. I'm back. How'd it go? I found some new friends. Anka opens the box she brought and places it in the middle of the room. Inside the box are various sea creatures wriggling around. A pungent fishy smell fills the room. Helm? I'm fine. Finish what you were going to say. You're free to touch them. They're super soft. Fish here taste great as well. But I'm having a hard time seeing them. Dave, Bancho, and all the guests are causing my radar to act up. Okay, first off, close that box. Subordinate told me more or less the same thing. I will incorporate all the intel into my report. Helm turns around without further comment, resumes typing on the keyboard. Silence overtakes the threadbare room, which is almost entirely devoid of furniture. The only audible sound is the echo of the clacking keys on the keyboard. After a few moments, are those all messages you're writing to Captain? You haven't even sent any of them. What? No, I thought you said the D-Wave prevented any communications. Why are you writing those? What are you two still doing here anyway? Something seemed off with you, so we decided to stick around. You just didn't notice. Have you been thinking about Captain this whole time? Since we have no communication with the outside world, I'm not so sure whether subordinate is okay. That's not on the face of an unexpected situation. I'm trying to rely on subordinate. Relying on others isn't something to be ashamed of, I understand that. The person I'm used to depending on isn't here. What if it would come to my own decision What if I come to my own decision and only end up making another mistake? Open your mouth. Helm's reverie is interrupted by Mass abruptly shoving something in her mouth. I brought back some of the seahorse skewers Bancho made. If you ask me, the scrambled eggs with smoked Atlantic mackerel are the best. I'm also a fan of the scrambled eggs. What are you talking about, Helm? What about you, Helm? What's your favourite? Australian spotted jellyfish battleship sushi? No kidding. Probably because the battleship is in its name. Now, Helm isn't someone who would base her preferences on something so superficial. Right? It's a bit of a shame Captain isn't able to eat this delicious food. I would have liked to hear his opinion. These creatures are made of an unidentified substance created by Gatekeeper. I doubt there's any issues with us ingesting it. I'm not so sure it's fit for human consumption. Even if he were here, I wouldn't offer him any. That sounds like you. Anyway, why don't you share what's on your mind? It's just, I almost made the same mistake as before. But right now, I have you guys. Climbing up because of a fear of making a mistake? What a fool am I? Especially when I have two companions right in front of me. Can I talk to you guys? Of course. Although it does feel a bit strange seeing you acting like this. Don't know. I like this new side of Helm. Yeah, me too. If there's ever anything on your mind, you can tell us anytime. We're all friends here. Thank you, really. Simply relying on others won't solve the problem. We all have to help each other in order to find the right path. I'm going to suppress this desire to see him and focus on solving the issues at hand. Waiting for the day when we can meet him again. Am I someone who others can rely on now, subordinate? Yeah, like there's only 20 days of this minigame. This game mode's only available for 20 days as of now, like as of recording. So, I mean, I don't know. It kind of feels like Dave the Diver. It also, you can probably tell, it kind of isn't. So, like, you know, overall, what would I say? I mean, yeah, I'll probably play this more. Yeah, what would I say about this game? Right, so, I mean, it is kind of an interesting one in that sense. Like, I mean, I don't particularly think it is for Dave the Diver fans at this point. Like, I wouldn't say that because, well, from what I can say here, a lot of the story is based on, like, it's more based on the game that this is a collaboration with, and it is based on oh, I can get into iDiver. Okay, okay. We're gonna need more max weight. I don't really feel like I need harpoon gun upgrade at this point, especially not to 7. But not the point. Yeah, so what I'd say is, I can't access the restaurant during... No, I can access the restaurant during the day. So I want to aim for that. That's what I want to aim for, the white Trivalis right now. And by upgrading that, yeah, that's going to really go up. Like, so the thing about that is, yeah. In fact, maybe I'll get hot upgrade way too quick. That's going to be the issue here. Like, I'm going to get to like ridiculous amount of customers really fast, and I'm not going to keep up because I don't actually have the staff. In fact, that's interesting, like the staff we got here. So what's interesting is you can hire Kyoko, which is the first staff you find in Dave the Diver, of course, and Maki, because, yes, like, you know, the quest line in Dave the Diver, of course, you know, she becomes Bancho's apprentice, so it only makes sense that she shows up. You know, these two are basically the guaranteed two that you always have, so it makes sense that the game would include them in a crossover. You can also hire, like, Anchor and Helm, which are the other two that are on the boat with us, so that's interesting. Oh yeah, you can see they're right here. Aha! Let's see what I got here. So let's see, complete diving 3 times, complete diving 6 times. And you can also firearm upgrade. So this is like a shotgun. Yeah, I see. So this is like the shotgun of the game, like the triple axe or whatever, because it fires like 3 bullets. It has a range of 3. This is like the rifle in the game, like the underwater rifle. And this is like the sniper rifle in the game. So you can change who you actually are deployed as in here. Now, you can also upgrade the weapons, which is interesting. So yeah, anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, basically, like, the thing about it is, this is more for people who already play the mobile game that this is collabing with. Like, this is actually built into the mobile game. So, yeah, and funnily enough, you can actually play somewhat of a Dave the Diver-like thing on a mobile device right now. So, you know, that is... And also it's, to an extent, it's free, right? Because, like, I mean, although the game has tons of MTX in it, like, it doesn't actually cost you to download it, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you can download, like, all it costs you is the time, right? Because at the same time, you can't just jump straight into this mini game, right? You have to like go through the actual game's tutorial, right? So like they'll have cause, as you've seen in the alternate art style with like the where it's like like the sort of like I don't want to say sort of 3D but not quite 3D like characters. Like it's a lot like that. And the tutorial, and it's like an arcade shooter, right? Because you have to go through, like you go through the tutorial, and basically it's like an arcade shooter where you are these. It's a sci-fi background, like they're fighting robots, like these machines that have like taken over or something. There's quite a lot. The story's quite well. It's actually quite lengthy and in depth, right? Like being honest, there's quite a lot to it. Like it isn't. I mean, the characters may seem quite a lot fan servicey, right? That's kind of like what it is. Like, that's kind of, I guess, how they push the game, right? But like, the story isn't just. The story stands on its own as well, right? Like the characters could be different, and the story's still a good story in that sense. Like, it isn't just riding on the backs of that. Like it's like but I digress. Like, so the point is, like, a lot of the mini game itself, like the storyline there, because like when we had the cutscene with Helm, Mast, and Anchor talking, like they're referring to this person subordinate or captain. That's like their nickname for like the player character in the game. Like he's like the commander, as it were, where yeah, he commands these soldiers who are fighting these machines. Like they're all the soldiers. He's like a commander, and they refer to him as that. Like one of them, like Helm refers to him as subordinate, Mast and Anchor refer to him as captain. Other characters refer to him as other things. It's all kind of how it is. It's yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how the game is. And yeah, what I would say is like I don't know. If you already play this game, this is probably worth checking out. But if you already own Dave the Diver and play Dave the Diver, you already have pretty much the whole experience in Dave the Diver, right? Unless you like this game as well and play this game, it's not really worth coming over to, if you know what I mean. Like you don't gain anything like more additional from Dave the Diver there. Like see like the comment, like, well, so like in this limited time mini game, it still is like you can see Dave's dialogue. He still has like his same sort of like somewhat of humor from like the main game, where it's like you could have left that last part out, all that sort of stuff. Like Bancho and Dave are kind of similar to how they are in the main game, and like it's kind of a nice nod to that. But at the same time, it's like you could just watch someone playing through the Dave the Diver of this on this, like Dave Dive story on this game, and it's fine, right? Like you don't need to go out the way to experience that. There's nothing really, and like, so as I said, like all these rewards that you get like for progressing, it's all just for like the rest of the main game. Like these like the skill manuals that you like upgrade character skills with in like the mobile game, for example, right? So everything like here is just kind of like for the mobile game. And again, like the mobile game's kind of just like how is this? Catch the rare fish, giant trevally. Like giant trevally didn't seem that rare to me, but whatever, right? Anyway, as I was saying, like, yeah, so, coming over to the game, there's really not a lot of point doing that. Like, you're basically going to be, like, yeah, it's free, but it's basically like a just a, I would say, slow, well, not slower, but like much more simplified, streamlined version of Dave the Dive. Like, you know, Dave the Dive has much more complex mechanics. Like on top of this, like it's basically got the bare bones of the mechanics, right? Like, you know, I don't have to equip any weapon charms or like, you know, change my weapons or craft my weapons and all that. Like all my weapons are like sort of like, you just upgrade them from here for coins. You don't have to scavenge for materials like in the main game. Like in the main game you have to like scavenge for materials, collect certain items, and then upgrade them. Like, you know, you can upgrade them down different paths. It's just like a flat upgrade curve. So, you know, you just go and get the next weapon. You know, the characters are synonymous with their weapons. Like, you know, they each have their 3 weapons, whereas, you know, Dave, he has like tons of different weapons. Um, you know, over at the sushi bar, for example, you have like, you don't have to research dishes, you just get the dishes from your like cooks to grade, right? Well, this isn't even cooks to grade, this is just grade. And, you know, grade's really easy to upgrade. Like, you know, by the next time, like, if the next time I play this, I can probably get to the high, like, maybe even the highest grade if I just, you know, get luck out and get some soy sauce, like, twice, and then, boom, just level up this dish, and it will be, like, if I'm upgrading this dish, it'll go up to, like, level 2, 100. If it works like in the main game where it just increases by the flat rate, and that goes to 100, then after that it will go to 150, and 150 is what you need to get to diamond, so that's kind of like a massive jump. Like, it's just going to go, and I'm already at max rank, whereas, like, you know, in my main playthrough, you know, it took me hours and hours and hours and hours to get to the point where I was in the hydrothermal vents, and I was like, right, yeah, I'm going to farm these things and get to, like, the diamond cooks to rank like that. You know, don't have to go through that there. You know, in the main game, when I was hiring staff, I was like, yeah, I need to find Billy to, you know, upgrade him to get his level 15 dish. And here we have, like, you hire the staff, but you don't upgrade the staff at all. Like, you know, you just get the staff, right? And, like, you know, the most expensive ones is 600. Like, it's going to be easy to get the staff at that rate. Like, really easy. So, you know, in fact, if my whole thing with the giant Trevallies, well, not the giant, the white Trevallies go well, I might just be able to like blitz through it super fast, like not even an inconvenience sort of thing. I can't dispatch though, so that's one thing where you kind of just have to rely on finding the soy sauce, but at the same time, like it seems to stack multiple soy sauce at the same time. Like, you know, it seems like stuff's easy enough to find underwater, like it's just littered there, so it's like, well, you know, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. And, you know, the menu is a simplified version of the menu. You know, it's not exactly like it's super hardcore to try getting anything. Like, you kind of just get stuff as you want. You know, imagine. Now, yeah, there's a story to it. Like, you know, they're trying to find this gatekeeper and wake it up. Like, you know, this again is for more people who have played like the main game. Like, you know, the whole story behind the gatekeeper is it's one of these a really powerful version of this machine, alien machines that are taking over, and it has the power to dream anything into existence. Like, and that's how they use crossovers. That's how they did a Nikke crossover. They did a crossover for Chainsaw Man like way before that, and they did a crossover with some anime, ReZero. I don't really know what that anime is about, but you know, they did a crossover with that, and basically the whole thing about it is like the gatekeeper is just like a MacGuffin that would be like, yes, this is what I'm dreaming of, therefore it exists in this world now. Boom. And, you know, you basically undo that by waking it up. So, you know, I expect like a boss fight at the end of this sort of crossover. Like, you know, these 3 here, they're gonna fight this gatekeeper thing underwater. Maybe it's a Dave the Diver style boss fight, and they fight that. That's what I reckon is going to happen, but we don't know. But yeah, point being is, like, as a Dave the Diver fan, you won't get much by going over to this game, right? Like, you know, unless, and at the same time, it's sort of like, would I really recommend it? Well, it really just depends on if you want to play like a mobile gacha game, right? Because the thing about it is, yeah, it's free to download, but all your units that you're getting are really dependent on like rolling them. Like it's like a gambling system, right? Where you know you're kind of like there's a chance to get this unit, but you're not guaranteed to get this unit. You know, and you only have like a certain like. Of course, I mean, I'd say from what I hear, this game's quite generous to like compared to others that are like in the same genre as it. But at the same time, there's still only a limited amount of free resources you can get. Like, you can only get so much for free in this game, right? And at that point, it's like, well, yeah, if your free resources just don't do it, then, I don't know, beats me, you ain't getting the unit then. Like, yeah, that's just how it is, and it's like, well, that's kind of a not a good game design. Well, I mean, it's a good game design if you want to like rinse people for money, but you know, it's not a good game design from like a player standpoint where you can't just have everything, and if you do want to have everything, you end up paying a lot of money because it's just MTX'd out that wazoo, like, you know, it's MTX'd out the ass, like, you know, you can pay, as I said, like, you know, this costume here for this character, like, this is a costume for a character, not a character, like, you know, you have to have this character, you have to have got this character through the gambling system. And then if you want this costume for them, which is sort of like the wetsuit, but like conveniently missing the portion around like the upper thighs and all that. Yeah, now that costs more than Dave the Diver itself. To like where Dave the Diver is a full game. You know, I put in like 400 hours to Dave the Diver, so you know I definitely got my money's worth out of that. But like, you know, at the same time, it's like you can't always. That's my main point here. Like, it's like if you're into this kind of game, right, where like, you know, the characters are really fan servicey, um, you know, then sure. But the thing about it is, you should probably play it for the game itself, not really because it's got Dave the Diver content in it. Because Dave the Diver content, as I said, you know, it's a limited like 20 days thing, right? Like this is a, you know, as someone who, if you're playing Dave the Diver and think, oh, this looks cool, right? Um, like, you know, maybe you jump in, make an account, you know, get through the tutorial, you know, if you don't care about the whole actual mobile game itself, you get into here, then, you know, you just play this basic version, like this simplified version of Dave the Diver, because it's not as mechanically complex as Dave the Diver. And you play the simplified version, and you're like, yeah, cool, get through it, do whatever, right? And then never play the game again. I mean, that's fair enough. That's actually a way that you can approach it, right? But I want to make it clear, and I want to stress that, you know, you shouldn't, like, getting into this game. It's like, well, you'd have to want to get into the game, right? Like, you know, it's, well, I can't really explain it, but it's sort of like, you know, I wouldn't want to say be promoting like, yeah, this is a good, because, well, I mean, sort of like, yeah, the game can probably be like, the game can be enjoyable, like the main game that, like, you know, has this mini game collab in it, but at the same time, it's sort of like, you know, I would not encourage someone to enter into like some sort of MTX hellscape where it's like, yeah, if you want to be doing really well at this game, like you want to be like top at this game, you just have to keep paying, right? I don't want to advocate for that, right? That's not who I am. Like, you know, I don't want to suggest that, like, because, you know, that's not something good to suggest. Like, you know, I can't just say, nah, yeah, play this game and end up spending like tons of money on it. It's like, well, no, that's not really, that ain't it, Chief. That's just not me. Like, you know, if you do play it and want to spend money on it, that's fine. Like, you know, you can do that. Like, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to spend money on this game, right? What I'm saying is, like, you probably don't need to as a Dave the Diver fan, right? Like, you know, this is not something that you come into and go, well, this, like, it's not an upgrade, you know, it's, this content is kind of like, it's a like, the storyline features the characters, and the characters are themselves, and that's good in that sense. But it's like the storyline's more focused on this other game, right? That's the main thing I'm getting at here. It's like, yeah. But what I'm saying, like, so I mean, the main thing about this is, it's the other game and about their fans, right? Because they come in here, they see these characters, they meet the two main characters, Dave and Bancho. Now, you know, Dave and Bancho, they have great style. They have, you know, they have good humor behind them in that sense. Well, Dave does at least. Like, you know, his some of his comments can be quite funny. And the thing about it is, like, they're supposed to come in here. They're supposed to see how the world of Dave the Diver works. You know, how some of the simpler mechanics of the game, like, you know, diving and the restaurant serving portion of it. Like, they're supposed to come in, they're supposed to see that, they're supposed to see, like, oh, yeah, you can upgrade your weapons, you can do this, you can do that. You know, you can do some of these different things in the game. You know, you have, like, a skin here for, like, a character that, you know, if they already played the game, they might already have this character, and they might go, like, yes, I want Mast in a wetsuit, right? And they buy Mast in a wetsuit, right? And then, like, you know, the same people will be like, well, you know, I kind of really enjoyed this mini game. Maybe I buy the actual game that, like, it collab from, like, you know, the actual Dave the Diver game, because it cost, like, even when it's not on sale, it costs less than Mast in the wetsuit, right? So, like, you know, if they already got Mast in the wetsuit, it's like, well, you know, maybe I just double the price and just get Dave the Diver at the same time and play that. Like, or, you know, maybe some people will, like, might be like, nah, I don't want to buy Mast in a wetsuit because, like, you know, you know, that's too much money for a skin. Like, you know, I'm not getting not enough content out of that. But, like, you know, actual Dave the Diver, like, that's cheaper than that. And, like, you know, this guy said he played it for 400 hours or something. I mean, actually, I doubt people are watching this video as a fan of, like, the mobile game. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But not the point. But, like, point being is, like, you know, that, you know, like, well, I wouldn't pay like 18 quid for a skin in a game, but I'd pay 17 quid for a full game. Yeah, sure, like, you know, like, you know, 17 quid for just pure full content, like all the games there. Yeah, I'd do that. Like, you know, they might be like that from, like, that in that perspective, like, you know. But overall, what I'd say is, does this do Dave the Diver justice? Yeah, I'd say so. Like, you know, it's if nothing else, it brings it to a larger audience. Like, you know, it's larger audience, or I won't say larger audience, but I'll say there's an external audience that exists here. They're giving them a free experience of Dave the Diver, and say if even like 5% of those people go like, yes, I like this experience, I'm going to buy Dave the Diver, then, you know, you got quite a few people buying Dave the Diver, and ultimately, that's pretty cool in my opinion. Like, you know, I respect that. You know, overall, I mean, I don't want to have to ramble. I mean, I don't mean to ramble on about, like, mobile games and, you know, monetization and all that. Like MTX and all that for like half hour, but I end up doing it anyway because, well, yeah, I guess that's just kind of like where I am in this video. Like, you know, it's kind of like, well, I want to make it clear that this is like, I just want to make it clear that, like, my stance on mobile games in that sense is like, if you play them, that's fine. If you pay for them and, like, you know, pay, like, if you pay a lot for them even, that's fine as long as you're happy with it, right? But I don't want people to go into this thinking like, yes, I don't know, I guess the way I see it is sort of like, what I don't want is people to go like, well, this is a free collab, I'll get this thing for free. They get this thing for free, but then you just get roped in and go like, you know what, I'm just going to spend a load of money now, and just end up spending a load of money on something that they otherwise wouldn't have spent money on, just because I reviewed it or something like that. You know, that's not something I want to do, right? Like, I guess that's really my biggest fear here, right? Where I'm like, well, no, I don't want you like you, the viewer, right? I don't want you to go like, oh wow, this game. I'm just gonna go on it and spend a ton of money on it now because it has Dave the Diver in it, and like, you know, this guy covers Dave the Diver. He said it's cool, so I'm gonna do it, right? And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I don't think I have that much influence over anyone. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be a nightmare for me if it actually did, you know, like, you know, I'm not, because at the end of the day, it's sort of like, I mean, I guess you could ask why should I care? Because, like, you know, it don't affect me personally. But, like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, what I really want to make clear is, like, you know, you kind of, like, make your own decisions, right? Like, you know, of course, everyone makes their own decisions, right? That's what I'm saying, like, as well. Like, you know, I can't physically say, oh, no, you can't spend money on this game, don't do it, right? Because, you know, everyone's entitled to their own decision, right? There might be people like, well, I really enjoy this game, I'm gonna keep buying stuff for it because that's what keeps the game afloat, right? And it's like, okay, well, yeah, fair enough. You do you, right? You know, that's why I don't say I have nothing against people spending money on it because, you know, if people spend money on what makes them happy, that makes them happy, right? But like, yeah, I know it's just a weird place to be in, man. Like, you know, because I guess coming from my perspective, like, if you play a game like this, right, where it's free but there's tons of MTX, right? Yeah, for me, as a person, like, you know, I always buy the new DLCs on things. I always buy like some skins, like, you know, on a lot of games, like I will own a lot of what you can own, right? And that's just how I am, right? And to me, I feel like, yeah, I wish I wasn't like that, but at the same time, I kind of just am like that, right? So, I guess where I'm coming from is I don't want someone like me who are like, yes, I want to own everything, like in a game, to come here and then just enter MTX hell where you have to like spend like hundreds or maybe even thousands and thousands to get to a level where you own everything, and it's like, well, yeah, you just entered into like a free-to-play game where their whole entire strategy is to get like these high-end players, like these high-spender players, or people who compulsively spend to, you know, spend large amounts of money, and then you know, that's how they make the money, because like, you know, a bunch of people playing it for free, like, you know, a large section of people are playing it for free, or maybe even spending just like a tiny bit, so they really make most of their money from like people who spend loads and loads, right? And, you know, I'd hate to like have someone like that think, oh well, this is cool, I'll get into it, you know, but they don't know the risks, right? Where they're like, you know, they go like, oh, you know, I'll stick with this game, and then like, you know, they over time choose to spend tons on it where they otherwise wouldn't have if they just you know, if they had known better, right? Like, well, not known better, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm talking kind of negatively about it, right? Like, you know, because I'm kind of in a space where it's like, you know, I've been there where I'm spending like a lot of money on different games. Like, I used to play Hearthstone. I stopped playing Hearthstone because I couldn't afford to keep all the new sets. Like, you know, because, you know, keeping up with the new sets is difficult. Now, I play Hunt Showdown, for example. I'm always getting a collector's edition. I spent like hundreds of quids on skins. You know, when I played City Skylines, I have all the DLC on that. Like, you know, there's just tons of games, right, where I have just all the DLC, and it's just ridiculous, right? And, you know, and this game, no exception. Like, you know, I'm like, if I was playing this game long term, you know, I know I spend tons of money on it, and it's like, yeah, that's not something that I really want to wish anyone else would be doing. But anyway, I've got to end this video here because it's gone an hour long, and like half an hour of it is just a rant about like free-to-play games and stuff like that. But point being is like, yeah, this is for the fans of this other game, like, to come over to Dave the Diver, right? That's what I'm saying. I'll probably do more content covering this because, you know, might as well see the story, like record it, like, you know, it's a limited time event, so, but yeah. Anyway, that's about it for this part, and I hope you all have a good day.